Hey guys, welcome back to Anime Recap Pro. Today we will be checking out a 2006 Japanese anime titled Code Geass. Caution, spoilers ahead. In 2010, the Holy Empire of Britannia became a strong military country, starting with the invasion of Japan. After being quickly defeated, Japan was renamed Area 11. It put up a lot of resistance against these tyrants to regain its independence. Episode 1. At the story's start, two kids are playing in nature, which looks like something out of a fairy tale. A young boy with purple eyes looks straight into the camera and says, "I will destroy Britannia." After 7 years, we meet our protagonist. Lelouch Lamperouge shows up with a new friend named Rivals. Lelouch plays chess at night. His first move is a power move that sets the tone for the rest of the story. When the friends left for school, Rivals cut in front of two terrorists on the freeway, and a semi crashed into a warehouse. Lelouch decides to do the right thing and figure out what's going on. Unfortunately, he gets stuck in the anti-government rebel truck as it runs away from the British military after a poison gas capsule they think could be used against them. A British soldier holds Lelouch down until he realizes it's his old friend Suzaku from when they were kids. When the capsule opens, there is a lot of lights, and instead of gas, a woman with her hair flipped back appears. Before they can get any answers, more soldiers arrive at the scene. The boss man tells Suzaku to kill Lelouch, but he won't do it because Lelouch is his friend. So, the boss man kills Suzaku and then kills the girl by accident when she walks into the line of fire. Even though she's in a pool of blood, she gives him her power, called Geass, before she dies. Lelouch stands up with pride, and his left eye glows bright red. He tells his attackers to kill themselves, and they do so gladly. Lelouch's face goes blank. Episode 2. Suzaku wakes up in a medical trailer. He missed his chance to go to heaven because his pocket watch deflected the bullet and saved him from dying elsewhere. Lelouch takes over a bad guy's nightmare frame called the Sutherland. He leads the rebels against the Britannia army in a devilish way, which forces Viceroy Clovis La Britannia to release his best weapon, the Lancelot, which Suzaku will pilot. He turns on its boosters, which makes him too strong for the other nightmare frames. Suzaku and Lelouch fight each other in their Transformer suits without knowing it. In the middle of the fight, Suzaku saves a falling woman, which makes Lelouch break into Sir Clovis's personal transport, which isn't well guarded. Clovis then tells everyone inside the base to stop fighting, and Lelouch reveals that he is a member of the Imperial family and a prince. Episode 3. Everyone in the Imperial family, including Clovis, thought Lelouch had died when Britain took over Japan 7 years ago. Lelouch holds Clovis at gunpoint and then uses his powers to force him to tell him what happened when his mother died. In a flashback, Lelouch sees that his mother was killed and that his younger sister, Nunali, was hiding under her. He looks at both of them with horror from the top of the stairs. In the present, Lelouch lets Clovis off the Geass while he pleads his innocence. Even though Clovis wasn't involved and Lelouch didn't know much about him, he didn't hesitate to pull the trigger. Later at Ashford Academy, Lelouch discovers that one of his classmates is part of the resistance group. He finds out later why she joined the terrorist group and learns that Geass only works once per person. Later, Lelouch has dinner with a disabled sister, who says she wants the world to be kinder. He promises to create a life for her where she can be happy. They then pinky promise never to lie to each other. When it is said that Prince Clovis has died, Suzaku is the one who is blamed for killing him. Episode 4. Jeremiah Gottwald and the Pure Blood group in the Britannian army want to blame Clovis's death on Suzaku as a way to get rid of honorary Britannians, or people who became Britannians after the Britannians took over their country. Lelouch changes his name to Zero, and with the help of Colin and Kaname Ogi, he uses Geass on Jeremiah, which lets him and Suzaku get away. As Zero, Lelouch asks Suzaku to join him in rebelling against Britannia. Suzaku refuses, thinking that Britannia should be changed through legal means, and goes to his trial. Episode 5. Lelouch is surprised that the girl who gave him the Geass is still alive and living in his room at Ashford Academy. Meanwhile, Suzaku is cleared of all charges, and the scene changes to him walking down the street. Suddenly, a girl with pink hair named Princess Euphemia falls from the sky into his arms. He ends up getting involved in a fight between purebloods until Princess Cornelia comes and tells everyone to leave. She says that only her genuine concern is finding Britannia's one true enemy, Zero. In the last few seconds, we see Suzaku tell Lelouch that he is a new student in his class. He sits in class and has to deal with his classmates mocking him. Episode 6. On the roof, Suzaku and Lelouch catch up after not seeing each other for years. Suzaku says that he joined Euphemia to help make the world better. Cornelia keeps looking for Zero and destroys more rebel strongholds, but she can't figure out where he is. Later that day at Clovis's funeral, the Emperor of Britannia gives a very racist speech, which Lelouch disapproves of. In a memory, a royal-looking Lelouch talks to his father, Charles, the Emperor of Britannia, about the death of his mother. Lelouch gives up his claim to the throne because his father doesn't care that she's dead or that his daughter is hurt. Then, Charles says that his son is useless and has no worth, so he exiles him, and not only to Japan. Episode 7. Zero is in the Saitama ghetto, and Cornelia sets a trap for him there. Even though Lelouch knows that it's a trap, he wants to go, but CC tells him not to. She pulls out a gun and says she will shoot him in the leg to stop him. But he answers by aiming one at his head and telling him that he is already dead because he has no purpose. This makes CC let him go, so Lelouch pretends to be a British soldier. However, he is soon cornered and almost caught before CC shows up in his Zero costume. This lets him escape, and Lelouch decides to build an army that Britannia can't beat. Episode 8. A group of rebels, mostly made up of former Japanese soldiers, take over a hotel and its guests, including Lelouch's friends and Euphemia in disguise. Cornelia doesn't do anything to the people holding her sister hostage because she thinks that that would put her little sister in more danger. Lelouch plans a rescue mission because he knows this. In the meantime, Suzaku talks to the people holding the hostages and uses Lancelot to sink the hotel. However, Lelouch stops any rescue efforts so that he can take credit for it. In a public broadcast, Lelouch tells the world about his new group, the Black Knights, Allies of Justice. This group will protect the weak from those in power. Episode 9. Zero leads many brilliantly planned terrorist attacks against the British Army with his army of Black Knights. Sometimes he wins, but other times he has to retreat and come up with a new plan. Episode 10 and 11. At the Battle of Narita, it looks like the Black Knights are winning. So Suzaku enters the battlefield as Lancelot with Euphemia's blessing. Even though Lancelot and Colin were able to trap Cornelia, it looks like the princess is doomed. That is until Suzaku comes to save her, which makes Lelouch run away. Suzaku chases after him and even raises his gun, but CC stops him by making him see his dead father. She touches Lancelot, and Lelouch says he can't do her any more favors before putting his hand on her shoulder. This sends him into her mind, which sends him into Suzaku's mind. They both start to see horrible things at the same time. Suzaku goes crazy and hurts Situ in the chest by accident. Lelouch is seen resting in a cave with CC, who quickly gets better after being badly hurt. Lelouch thinks about who or what CC might be. So here we find out that Lelouch discovered CC's real name when he entered her mind accidentally a few moments ago. But every time he says her name, the anime thought it would be a good idea to add a raindrop sound effect. Episode 12. Zero and the most important Black Knights meet with Tai's Kirihara at the Kurugi Shrine. Tai's is one of the most influential people in the Japanese underground, and Lelouch knew him when he was younger. Lelouch shows Tai's how smart and good at strategy he is. He also tells Tai's who he is to gain his trust and help. Shirley Fanette tells Lelouch that her father died during the Battle of Narita and that Zero was indirectly to blame. Episode 13. Colin and Lelouch think about the deaths of innocent people during the Narita campaign and both promise to keep going. Valletta asks Shirley about Lelouch's connection to the Black Knights and tries to get her to follow Lelouch in secret. There, she sees the Britannian army and the Japan Liberation Front fight. As the Britannian Nightmares get ready to board the freighter, Lelouch sets it off, killing everyone and giving the Black Knights the element of surprise. Suzaku attacks Lelouch, making him jump out of the ship and crash near Shirley. She gets ready to kill him to get revenge for her father, but then his mask falls off and he shows himself to her. Well, that's it for today. Want to find out if Lelouch defeats Britannia? Stay tuned for part 2. Also, remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe.